would want my money back. These are civil lawsuits that are like this civil lawsuit triggered a criminal investigation. I mean, we just read the newspaper article on a man who was just recommended 3 life sentences. This is really, really important stuff. And the fact that it's not that important to these people just shocks me.
Yeah,
You don't know the woman's name? No, it was none of my business. Oh, whatever. But yet all we saw on their messages was their dirty stuff. Like one of them sent a picture of, they took a picture of their shorts, and they had these real short blue jean shorts on. And now I don't know, to be fair, I don't know if they actually took the picture of themselves or if it was something that they got off the internet. I don't know. But it was a picture of their lap, and they had, it was either Eccles or Ben. It was one of the two that sent it to the group. And the shorts were really, really short, blue jean shorts, cut off. So they had the strings hanging down. And this giant pecker was sticking out with a big hard on, sticking out the side of the shorts. You know, it's like longer than the shorts, than the cut off shorts. I mean, they just think that they're so funny. There was a big naked fat man with Mickey's head on a turtle, riding a turtle with his big ugly pecker hanging out. I mean, you know that they're meaning them to be funny, but you know, it's not
crass
funny.
humor. It's crass humor.
Well,
It's
and
inappropriate.
it's inappropriate. Yeah.
I mean, if you're out with your buds, well, I can't say that I even think that there's ever a time that it would be appropriate, to tell you the truth. Because the joke is always, it's always slanted towards something about a woman.
Mm-hmm. Always. It's all sexual humor. And our new sheriff, Billy Jones, was in that chat. We got messages from him in there. Now, I don't think he was sending any dirty ones, but he was still in that group chat. He was observing the other ones doing it.
Well, maybe I hope that he decided that he wasn't going to let that stuff go on under him.
Well, I'd have to see it to believe it if he ever addressed it. Because why didn't somebody address it when it was happening? If they didn't have the nards to address any of that stuff when it was happening, I don't think they got the nards to do it now. Because if they do now, then they have to, that's the same thing. Like I said, why didn't Whitesburg mayor come out and condemn that? And so somebody said, well, the Whitesburg doesn't control the jail. No, they sure don't. I understand that. But it is right up the street from City Hall. I mean, just because the county runs it, it's still right there in Whitesburg.
They don't want to take sides because they don't want to offend people. Now, you and me and you, we'd be right there flapping our jaws, if you know what I mean. But a lot of people don't want to get involved in things because then it's going to look back on what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but if you're an elected official, it might be a good idea to mention something like, we're just not going to, we're not going to stay in this. But no, you know why nobody mentions it? Because Ben's wife is still working up there. She gets her big promotion and she gets to walk right up in there and own the day. Which I don't get. I mean, what's she got over people? Like, does she have some kind of information that she's got something? No, but Ben does. Maybe she does. Heck, I don't know. There've been a whole lot of accusations against her. There've been a whole lot of men having sex in those closets down in the jail. It ain't all been women.
Well,
All right, well, let's move on to this.
yeah.
No, it wasn't none of my business. I walked out of the room. Explain to me who was saying that to you and what room you were in. Oh, I think I missed something. I can't say. I heard. I realized. Just tell me what you heard. Just that he, I guess, slept some other woman or some women, I guess. I don't know who it was. You don't know the woman's name? No, it was none of my business. I walked out of the room. Explain to me who was saying that to you and what room you were in. I believe I was in probably the room we would sit in, I guess, congregate, the jury room, the smoke room. Man, I'd love to get paid to sit up there in a smoke room. We just we was just sitting there talking BS and, shooting the breeze like they always do. Who else was in that room? I can't recall. It was a conversation that I wasn't interested in. I was just walking out of the room. How long ago was this conversation? I can't recall. It has been a long time. Was it during the time period that you were working as a CSO at the courthouse? Yeah. Was it during a time period where Ben Fields was also working as a CSO? Yeah. Was Ben Fields also in that room when this conversation was occurring? It was a good possibility. I can't recall. It's been so long. So it was prior to January of 22, correct? Because that is when Ben Fields stopped working for the Letcher County Sheriff's Office. Yep, had to. Anything else that you can remember about that conversation? No, like I said, I wasn't interested in the conversation, so I just exited the room. Well, who was the person that had the information that you were not interested in? I guess it was Mickey. We was just talking about people and people that we knew. You mean gossiping? Y'all's up there gossiping. Really? No, say it isn't so.
I like to gossip.
Me too. And stuff like that, and people we knew, and just stuff like that. Just small talk about different things. I guess he used to date somebody or something. There was some other person that came up, and that is how the conversation started. Was the person, I guess, that Mickey Steins was telling you about, were you talking about that person? Because that person had some sort of criminal case going on in the circuit or district court? No, not that I remember. It wasn't nothing like that. But I don't really remember why we was talking about certain people. I mean, it is a small town and everybody knows everybody. Yeah, see, they sit up there and sit and talk about us like dogs. And then they go in the courtroom. And it ain't just them. Think about who's sitting up there in that smoke room. Who've we already seen? The judge sits up there. Matt Butler sits up there. The prosecutor. The defense attorneys sit up there. Matt Butler was a defense attorney when he was sitting there at that table with his feet all propped up with Angie. All of them sit up there in that smoking room and just hang out. I think that's how most of them cases were decided. And at that time, you had old Michael Clarkey Pooh hanging out, the best friend. That was like you, Ben Fields, and Mickey Steins were part of that conversation, correct? Yeah. Who else was a part of that conversation? Like I said, I can't really recall who was there. It was so long ago. Were there other persons there aside from the three of you?